in 1976. Before the formal registration of Association of Local Governments of Nigeria, Algon, there existed in Nigeria smaller regional associations with their activities restricted to their particular regions within the country. These collapsed to form a truly national association now known as Algon. On each edition of the program, we shall be featuring issues of local government and local council development areas for the benefit of peer review and for people to be better served. So, where do we start from? Follow us as we'll be talking to some stakeholders and partners in the course of the program.
Listen to this truth. We are growing by the day, and our viewership keeps growing on our different platforms. We are inviting you to advertise your goods and services with us at incredibly low rates. And do you have news for us? Script or video? Please contact us through our email address, clearviewnewsroom@gmail.com or WhatsApp line 080-650-30-300. Again, 080-650-30-300. Welcome on board.
Welcome back. Every week on the program, we shall be highlighting the achievements of chairmen of local government and local council development areas, LCDAs. You can always watch the program every week at the same time. Nevertheless, our main focus on this episode is evaluating how several efforts made at strengthening local governments in the country have thrived through deliberate and conscious enactment of relevant laws and policy directives and the retention of the present democratic system of local government as provided in the Constitution. You're welcome once again. For centuries before the advent of British rule, governance in different parts of present-day Nigeria was synonymous with traditional institutions and their rulers. Local administration then generally centered on the traditional ruler who was considered the repository of religious, legislative, executive, and judicial functions. Now, for this reason, even now that the local government administration is fully on course, the traditional rulers' views about the local government administration are considered to be authoritative. Now, let's start by listening to a revered royal father, the Ooni of Ife, Oba Adeyeye Enitan Ogunwusi Ojaja II. The monarch is of the view that many societal problems will be solved if due recognition is given to local government administration in Nigeria. These problems include insecurity and youth restiveness.
Let us be very truthful in this country. Look at this beautiful building. As beautiful as this building is, if the foundation is wrong, the entire building will collapse because the foundation has a problem. In this gathering, the Senate President mentioned the key factor, the collapse of local government. It has completely collapsed because that's the only arm of government that is, number one, the foundation of this country. You don't have any other foundation. We are only building on a castle that has been completely broken down. That is the foundation that will gather the most active age bracket for you in this country. You say we have a local government and several wards. Where do we have the wards being put together? It's under the local government constituency. They are underfunded. You don't even reference them for anything. You don't even care about their administration. Where did we get it wrong in this country? We all have faults, all of us here. If we keep talking every time, we will not get any result. It's getting worse. They are getting more emboldened. They are now very bold and they are ready to face anybody because they are hungry and they are angry. Let us change our strategy. Let us change our style. You leave this age bracket. If there will be problem, you will give them guns to start to move around. You will never see anybody above our age in our comfort zone here that is really ready to face the music.
Let's now go down memory lane with the chairman, board of trustees of Algon, Oduayo Ategbero.
Algon was officially inaugurated on the 28th of November 1999 at the International Conference Center in Abuja. It was inaugurated by the president, former president, Chief Olusegun Obasanjo, ably represented by the then vice president, Atiku Abubakar. At that inauguration, which was referred to as the General Assembly of the association, the highest organ of the association, officers of the association were elected, that day, and we had the first president in person of late Joseph Jella. Joseph Jella was from Adamawa State. He was the president. 1999 was the beginning of this democracy. We were elected through INEC, organized election. So we had a smooth tenure of 3 years. But suddenly after that, it's unfortunate, some governors were not really going to appoint or elect local government functionaries. So from there, we had a problem. Majority of our people were now operating a caretaker arrangement. So it became so difficult to organize another General Assembly, so to say. So what we did as a board, because we are the custodian conscience of the association, what we did was that we were trying to organize a kind of average elections for our officers. So from then, what we were doing was that we would bring all the state chapters chairmen representing their states, 36 states and the Federal Capital Territory. We bring the state chapters of Algon chairmen to Abuja to come and elect one of them as president or other officers. So we started this in 2004. We elected late Baba Zeremo as the president of Algon after the first president, and he was there until its tenure expired. Baba Zeremo was from Benue State, Taka local government, and he was ably assisted by Barrister Nyesom Wike, the present governor of Rivers. He was the deputy president. So the issue is that the question is very clear about it. When you are no more a local government, serving local government chairman, you cease to be a member. So when Baba Zeremo's tenure expires, local government chairman, he had no option than to leave. So his deputy, who was Nyesom Wike, now came in as president, and he was there. After Nyesom Wike's tenure, we brought in Jalo Waziri from Gombe State. He is now a commissioner in Gombe. After his tenure, we brought in Felix Ahabwe. He's from Edo State. He was there. And after his tenure, we brought in late Nwabeze Okafor, who is from Enugu State. After Okafor, we brought in Mika Jiba from the Federal Capital Territory. Jiba is now a member of the House of Reps in Abuja. And after his tenure, we brought in Karaye Ibrahim from Kano. He was the president of Algon. And after his tenure expired, we brought in Tanko Gambo Kagara. He's from Niger State. After Kagara's tenure ended, we now bring in Honorable Barrister Alabi Kolade David, who is now the incumbent president of Algon.
Local government autonomy can be defined as the freedom of the local government to recruit and manage its own finances, makes bylaws and policies, and discharges functions as provided by law without interference from the higher governments. From all indications, the third tier of government seems to have been fighting the issue of autonomy. What is the president doing to achieve local government autonomy?
As a body, we have sent our proposal to all the critical stakeholders, particularly to the National Assembly, on local government autonomy. And we have also attended a meeting outside Nigeria with our international affiliate, as regards the clamor for autonomy. And we are from that school of thought that believe in decentralization and devolution of power to the local government. So if we have autonomy, I can tell you for free that 75% of problem in this country will be solved. Government should be administered from the local government. If the foundation is rot, then there will be a problem. So we have to make the foundation right. In making the foundation right, more power should be given to the local government.
Sir Ichako Malik Ikpopo, KSM, is the chief of staff to the Algon president. Before occupying this position, Malik was Delta State's Algon chairman for 6 years. He was also deputy national president. Well, Malik does not like to be referred to as an encyclopedia of Algon, but that's who he is. He's here to give a deep insight into the activities of Association of Local Governments of Nigeria, Algon.
Algon generally, the purpose is to aggregate the actions and inactions of our colleagues across the country in areas of national development, ranging from healthcare to agriculture, social services, infrastructure, and all of that. And what we do here is to aggregate these needs and see how best we can tackle them. In the last 2+ years, of course, his first term ended in March, where he was re-elected again in General Assembly. And he has tried to refocus Algon. And this time around, he's building his agenda on ensuring that we become more people-oriented in our programs and ensure that we build synergy with the states and the federal government. Over the years, what you find out that most local governments are disconnected from programs of their states and programs of the federal government. As I speak to you today, he's the first president of Algon that has been connected to almost all programs of the federal government, and has advised all his NEC members who, by their position, you cannot be a NEC member if you are not chairman of Algon in your state, because all chairmen cannot come here. The procedure is simple. The states, based on their peculiar circumstance, elect a chairman amongst them. It is that person that is elected that becomes a member of NEC. And he has continued to encourage them that there is need for them to connect properly, open their ears to programs, to projects of their state so that they can tap and key. For instance, there are not very many local governments that have the capacity to do programs on welfare and empowerment. So that is the area where he has tried to ensure that there's more synergy. We have tried to refocus the office to also be more oriented. And you know, without being economical with the truth, that we have had challenges in the past with the way Algon has handled its affairs, particularly its financial affairs. A lot of our colleagues across the country are not happy that we are centrally, or Algon was centrally awarding contracts. And one of the first policies of his administration was to say, no, we are not a contract awarding establishment. We can handle consultants to the extent that they bring in valued partners. We're looking at DFID and all of that. Partners who will help in capacity building, infrastructural development. And so that is the area we're looking at, not awarding contracts to do A or do B or do C, no.
The issue of local government autonomy is still generating much attention. Hajia Binta Bello is the Director General, Algon.
Algon is an organization that coordinates the activities of the grassroots, the communities. Everybody comes from a local government. In every state, you have the chairman of a local government that is the representative of Algon in the state. That means he's the representative of all the local governments within his state. Like, let's say Kano. that has 44 local government area councils, they have one rep that liaises with the national body, that is a NEC member. So whatever information he has, bottom up, whatever he has from his states, he would bring it up to the national body during the NEC meeting. And so the decision of the national body will also go down back to the local government via that chairman.
Multiple taxation is believed by players in the road transport sector across Nigeria as the cause of incessant hike in transportation costs, and this has, in turn, created huge financial burden to Nigerians, particularly commuters, service providers, businessmen and women conveying goods from one point to another. These situations on the downside have discouraged new investors interested in coming into the road transport industry, led to a poor survival rate of transport-driven businesses in the country, and have further brought about poor revenue accountability and decline in revenue generation for the government, especially at the local government level. The Association of Local Governments of Nigeria, Algon, in collaboration with the Federal Ministries of Agriculture and Rural Development, Special Duties and Intergovernmental Affairs, Transportation, Petroleum Resources, and so on, and other relevant departments and agencies of governments, as well as organized private sector operators, have commenced the National Anti-Multiple Taxation Scheme, NAMTAX, and National Transit Insurance Scheme, NATIS, for road users nationwide to provide safety, surveillance, logistics support, and emergency rescue on Nigerian roads. The national president of the Association of Local Governments of Nigeria, Algon, Honorable Kolade Alabi David, has therefore said the National Transit Insurance Scheme, NATIS, and National Anti-Multiple Taxation Scheme, NATAX, is an initiative that is set to redefine tax collections in the country and address issues of rising cost of goods and services across the country. And this has led to inflation and high cost of goods and services. Alabi was speaking during his opening remarks at the inauguration in Abuja, where he was duly represented by the Deputy National President of Algon, Honorable Aminu Maifa Muazu.
It is a well-known fact that in the country, the prices of agricultural produce and other essential commodities keep on rising by the day. Why? We are always been given one major reason as cost of transportation. Why is the cost of transportation so high? The transporters will always tell you that multiple roadblocks along the highways which enable them to convey these items or products to the marketplaces. That is one major reason. And the other reason is, whenever there is a road accident involving members of this trade, they end up losing all their wares due to lack of insurance cover to their wares. And we all know His Excellency, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, has one thing always in mind, that is to bring succor to the people at the grassroots. As such, Algon decided to key into this mindset of finding succor to the people at the grassroots. That is why the issue of finding a way to do away with multiple taxations along the way, and then finding a way to bring succor in case of accident to the people in distress. Then major critical stakeholders in the transport sector decided to join hands with Algon and work out how we can do away with these two major obstacles to trade in agricultural produce and other essential commodities in the country.
In his inaugural address, the Honorable Minister of Special Duties and Intergovernmental Affairs, Senator Dr. George Akume, thanked Algon and all the stakeholders for believing in the projects and called for effective participation of all stakeholders to actualize the innovation aimed at achieving zero tolerance to indiscriminate extortions on the roads and also ensuring that goods and services are well protected against losses of produce or during food haulage processes.
It is therefore apposite to state that the federal government is in full support of the two projects known as the National Anti-Multiple Taxation Scheme, NAM Tax, and the National Transit Insurance Scheme, NATIS, which have been established by Nigerian local governments and area council and are being coordinated by Association of Local Governments of Nigeria National Headquarters and her partners.
This is Algon on the Move. As I said earlier, on each edition of the program, we shall be featuring issues of local government and local council development areas. Follow us as we will be interacting with some chief executives of various local governments, chairmen to be precise.
When you look at all those people representing Algon today, you see they are professionals in their own fields and they are performing excellently well. When they are being given that autonomy, you will see what will happen to the grassroots politics. You see with the parliament in our various communities.
Algon has grown beyond the level he thinks it is.
When you come to my state, you meet mind-blowing projects, not only in my local government area, in all the 25 local government areas of Delta State, projects that were executed by the local government chairman.
The second Algon General Assembly took place March 2021. That was the second edition coming 22 years after the first edition, which took place on the 28th of November 1999. Then the association was inaugurated by Vice President Atiku Abubakar on behalf of President Olusegun Obasanjo. Some of the distinguished personalities at the second edition of 2021 were Speaker of Nigeria's House of Representatives, Honorable Femi Gbajabiamila, Lagos State Governor Jide Sanwo-Olu, the Minister of Special Duties, George Akume, and more. There, the Speaker expressed concerns over the challenges facing the local government administration in the country and promised that the Ninth Assembly would, through the ongoing Constitution's amendment, address some of the challenges to make the third tier of government become alive to their responsibilities.
The local government administrations in Nigeria are the closest to the people. They should be responsible for making decisions and providing services that ensure the quality of life for the Nigerian people. Until we fix local government administration in Nigeria, we will not be able to fully deliver on the promise of democratic governance in a way that allows us to achieve our country's full potential. I realize that the reason why the local government administration is not functioning is not because the local government councils or chairmen or councillors don't want to work. No, but because they have been hampered structurally. I am aware that many of these things that are your responsibility have been made difficult. Do you know why? I know why. But we end up suffering for it. But it has nothing to do with you. And that is why I say this time around, make your resolutions historic. I assure you all that the Ninth House of Representatives will not waver from our commitment to take whatever legislative actions are necessary to achieve the highest ambitions we have for Nigeria. I assure you also that we are ready to work with the Association of Local Governments of Nigeria, Algon, and with all the stakeholders to fix local government administration in Nigeria once and for all time.
In his remarks, the Algon National President, Honorable Kolade David Alabi, called for full democratization of the local government administration in the country as contained in the Constitution to be able to deliver the dividends of democracy to the populace. Honorable Alabi assured that the 5 strategic pillars and action of the association will guide its running in the next 5 years and urged the National Assembly to assist in the final resolution of local government administration autonomy in the ongoing review of the 1999 Constitution.
And affirm
that
I will faithfully execute the office
of
National President,
legal dresser,
that to the best of my ability,
that to the best of my ability,
I will preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of Algon.
the Constitution of Algon.
So help me God.
So help me God.
And on that note, we end this edition of the program, Algon on the Move. This is a very good platform to know how local governments are being administered in Nigeria. Call them local government administration, call them local council development areas administration. You will be referring to governors at the grassroots level. I thank you for your time. I am Odion Bello. Bye for now.
AIT, sharing the African experience.